That's ISO?
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, shake it up.
Hey you guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Patrice Isaac, and here on my channel, I talk about how I left the classroom as a teacher and now a software instructional designer in the tech industry, becoming a new wife and running my side business, Isaac & Co. Please like, subscribe, and share. All right, let's go ahead and get started in today's video. So today's video is going to be about how I left teaching and why, and a couple of steps that I took to help me transition into my new career as a software instructional designer. Before I entered into instructional design, I was a classroom teacher for 8 years. I taught middle school and high school, and I taught business and software and tech courses. So I've always kind of had a background in tech, but I was a teacher. Like, that was my job for a solid 8 years. And I realized that I no longer wanted to be in the profession. It just no longer served me. I was very tired, overwhelmed, stressed, felt underappreciated. And I was going through a transition in my life. So I was about to get married, and we were, planning on getting married, starting a family. And I knew that I wanted to have a job that was less demanding as a teacher. So right then and there, I started to think, like, what can I do? How much time do I have? And at the moment when my back was against the wall was mid 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. When I went back in the classroom after summer break, I was like, yeah, I really can't do this. What can I do to get on out of the classroom? So evaluate my goals. So like I previously stated, I knew I wanted a job that was less stressful and less demanding. So one thing I knew I wanted to look for was a work from home job. It was 2020, work from home was very popular, and I knew that's what I wanted. Also, I wanted like a project-based job where it wasn't like a constant job, where I could kind of have flexibility and autonomy in my work. So that was very important, as well as benefits and pay. Like, when I was teaching, I have 3 degrees, so I was on the higher end of the salary. So I wasn't making a little bit as a teacher, but I'm definitely making a lot more as a instructional designer. So definitely pay was a part of my goal. Flexibility and autonomy on the job. So when I got those goals together, I knew what I was looking for in a job. Okay. So next, once I figured out, this is not for me, I don't want to be in the classroom. I want to be at home, working, doing what I need to do. I then transfer my skills. When I say transfer your skills, I was a teacher. So my background was educating. With educating and teaching, that comes with communication, with leadership. So I had to tap into my communication skills. I'm a very technical writer and technical speaker. So that is a skill that I was able to transfer from the classroom into another industry. I'm a technical writer, able to lead. I'm able to handle logistics. I'm able to problem solve. Those are transferable skills. Okay, if you don't have transferable skills, then look at the skills that you're wanting to have to get to where you need to go. So the second thing I did was learn how to transfer my skills. So I looked at everything I did as a teacher and compared it to what I wanted to be doing, okay? And side by side, it aligned. Now, if you're a teacher and you don't necessarily want to go into instructional design, those skills as a teacher can take you many other places. You just really, truly have to find the job that works for you. All right. So the next thing I did after I figured out my skills and what I could do with them and how could I use them was I created and executed a plan. So I knew I wanted to go into instructional design. And so in order to give, my best foot forward, I had to create a portfolio. So that is one of the biggest tips that I do tell aspiring instructional designers, is to create a portfolio. If you want to see a copy of my portfolio, you can click the link in the description where it will take you to the portfolio I use to get the job that I have now. But I knew I had to create the portfolio with whatever items the companies or the jobs were looking for. And so that's what I mean by create and execute a plan. The plan was, I wanted to have this particular job in this industry. I needed to have these skills. I needed to have this experience with software, and I needed to create a resume. So those things I knew I needed to accomplish if I wanted to put my best foot forward and be a viable candidate in this particular candidate pool. All right, is I led with my strengths. Once I had a tangible portfolio, a resume that was up to date, that showcased my skills and not the task that I did, I was able to apply for jobs, stand out to recruiters. So when you are talking to recruiters or hiring managers, lead with your strengths. My strength was, I was very familiar with different types of software because I was technically an instructor of software. I taught Photoshop, I taught web design, I taught coding. So I led with those things. Like, yeah, I'm very familiar with these particular principles. I'm very particular with these applications. And I talked my way through my strengths. I knew that's what I was strong in. And I didn't dwell on teaching. I made sure everything I spoke about was relevant into the job. So instead of saying students, I would refer to them as learners. Or instead of saying my teacher friends, they will be colleagues. So you have to make things relative when you're transitioning over to a new career. So those are the 4 things that I did. Evaluated goals. My goal, learn to transfer your skills. I knew that I had technical writing skills and I had instructor skills of instructing software. So I had to figure out where those skills could take me. And then 3, I created a plan. Like, you have to plan to take that leap. Once you create the plan, you have to actually execute it. And last but not least, I led with my strengths. Know what your strengths are and how they are relative into the job or the field that you're going into. I hope these tips helped, as well as just me sharing my story. Please, if you haven't subscribe and like. Follow me for more content on just navigating in the tech industry, being a new wife, and also hustling up with my side business, Isaac & Company. If you want to learn more about how I got into instructional design or how to get into instructional design, you can click the link in the description. There are several resources. It includes my portfolio that I used. You can click that link. There is a guide on how I got into it, a crash course. It goes a little bit more in detail on what you need to do to get started in instructional design.
That's ISO.
Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up.